If this is your first time, welcome to my channel. And today I want to share with you how to find your niche as a multi-passionate individual and also as a spiritual being, right? So if you're a spiritual individual or someone who is on their spiritual awakening or ascension journey, but then you have so many passions and then you have this desire to literally turn those passion and all the wisdom you've been embodying and all the things you've been learning, the wisdom, the knowledge, the growth that you've been experiencing into fulfilling career, into a fulfilling business that not only supports you to create abundance for yourself, but also to transform the lives of many people and change the world and literally do the work that you're here to do and become the person that you're here to do, then this is your channel. Welcome, because here I love having conversation around spirituality, inner transformation, business, and leadership, just to name a few. So like you, I'm a multi-passionate individual, as you can already know. And if you've been around my channel for a while, you will notice that I don't really talk about one thing. And this is one of the reasons why my growth on this platform has really been slow, right? This is because the platforms love when you are specific. But if you are anything like me, right, you have passions, many passions, and you are so led. And most of the times you're not creating from the place of, okay, this is what is going to sell, but it's from a place of, this is what I feel called to talk about right now. This is what I feel in my spirit that need to be talked about. And these kind of like shift, and these are different interests, different passions, and you find it like, oh, how am I going to be able to literally maybe build a business or create a channel or share my message if I have all these pieces on parts of myself? Oh, I'm about relationships, I'm about spirituality, I'm about personal growth, I'm about business, I'm about art. It could be like you, like, because that is part of me. So one thing to realize is that, first of all, this is not a flaw, it's not a weakness, and there's nothing wrong with you. Because we have this misconception in the society that if you have multi passions and you are, what most people actually think is all over the place and you're not specific, it's because something is wrong with you. No, it's actually because you're here to be a trailblazer, and it's actually because you're not meant to be in a box, and it's actually because that is your superpower. So what I've come to realize is that it's actually a design, the way you are designed. It's like your energetic blueprint, and it's actually a gift that source, God, gave you so that you can navigate this life with and through. So one thing is that mainstream people would tell you to niche down, right? And to have a specific things that you're talking about and to just talk about one topic. But if you are like me, a multi-passionate, you've tried that and it doesn't work. It doesn't work because easily you get bored, because easily your interest moves to the next thing that is more expansive and lighting you up in the moment. And instantly you're like, no, I don't really want to talk about this. Like today you're learning about spiritual ascension, and you literally are in this mood of like spiritual awakening, growth, and you're digging into all of that, and you're embodying, and you're channeling stuff, and you're learning channeling. And the next day you're all about, okay, this now it's inner work, I'm all about healing. The next day you're all about, okay, now I'm all about my career. Or the next day is, okay, what inspired me is art, nature. So how do you bring all of these together to actually form your own niche? Because here's the thing, you are not going to be able to fit into the traditional niche, right? And I say this with love, but traditional niches are for the 90% of the population and the people who are not here to go on the path that you and I are here to walk on, which is the path of blazing the trail, the path of start doing something that the world has ever seen. And if you try to follow that part of wanting to box yourself, because you're not here to be boxed, you're not here to follow the rules, you're here to bend them and create your own rules. When you go on that path, what is going to happen is that you're going to start feeling unfulfilled, you're going to start feeling unmotivated, motivated, and before you know, you're going to start feeling procrastinating, not taking action. And this literally happened to me when I was doing business coaching. Like most of you know, I started out my journey with helping people heal, and then I transitioned into business coaching. And what happened with doing just business coaching alone is that I felt like I was boxed, because there were all these other parts and things that I was passionate about: spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension, inner transformation, that I felt like my business back wasn't really giving me the chance to do that, to expand and express myself fully as I am. And as a result, I felt unfulfilled. And because I felt unfulfilled, I was burnt out, because now I was doing something that I'm not really lit. And being a generator in human design, it's very important for me that whatever I'm doing lights me up. And as a result, though I made all this money, like I was unhappy. So I had to literally just let all of that go slowly and gently, which is the journey I've been on, and now build something that is really in alignment to who I am. And on this journey, like one of the biggest thing that I tried, or like that I struggle was, okay, what am I really here to do? Like what should I say? What should I teach? What should now my business transitioning and pivoting into being who I am? Like, what should I really talk about, right? Which topics? And the answer is all of them, because here's the thing you want to understand, right? You are here like to innovate, right? And to innovate unique solutions to problems if you are a multi-passionate individual. And what you want to understand is that innovation is about building a new way of doing things on something that already exists. And most people, if you are multi-passionate, it's because you are very creative and you have a brain that doesn't function like that of everybody out there and in mainstream, right? Your brain can easily pick up on different things. And for example, if you're reading a book, right, like you're not just reading that book, it's like you're joining pieces in your head about things that you've learned in other areas, other fair, and all of it is coming together to make something that is different and unique. And this is really the source of fulfillment, because when you feel like you're innovating, you're creating, you're blazing, like you're doing something that no one is doing, and you're sharing a new way of things to be done, this is when you start really fulfilling your purpose, because you are not here. Like I always say, your purpose is not what you're here to do, it's who you're here to be. And who you're here to be is to be an innovator, right? Is to be somebody who creates new solutions. Is to be someone who figures out new ways of doing things. And the way that you do this is not going to be by going and just being like, okay, you have to be boxed. So then how do you kind of like integrate all the interests that you have together to actually form your own unique thing, right? Now, first of all, it starts by you shifting your mind from thinking that these many interests that you have is actually a weakness, and getting out of the thing of trying to actually figure the unique thing. Because when you stop trying to figure out the unique thing and actually just start sharing what lights you up, when you stop trying to figure what is the one thing I am here to do, what is my niche, what is my unique message, when you stop focusing on that and actually start just sharing what lights you up in the moment, what you're going to realize is that through the action, through the momentum, you are going to bring together the pieces of the things that really bind it all together. And then in that process, you're going to actually find that you couldn't have really figured out your niche, because your niche is something that has not been created. It's something that no one else is doing. It's something that no one else there has been able to do it. And this is why you have been struggling to figure it out, because it doesn't exist yet. And the person who is going to innovate and bring it forth is you, right? So the first step is going to be just start, instead of thinking, okay, what am I here to do? What message, whatever comes and it comes in your heart right now, just share it. Just share it, maybe through posts, through writing, through a video, or just share with the world. Just share unfiltered, just share the way you feel. And as you do this and as you share, what you're going to realize is that you're going to start in the process of creating, right? my cat is really being naughty right now. In the process of creating, you're going to bring all those pieces together. And then they are going to form your unique juice, right? And again, innovation is your innovation, your innovative solution is going to come from creating and following your passions, your interests, the things that light you up, right? And the biggest innovators that you want to, let's look at society. The biggest people who innovate things in our society nowadays are not people who are doing just one main thing or will learn one thing and they're like, okay, this is my area of interest. The biggest person in the world, or most influential and most powerful and most successful right now, is Elon Musk. And if you study his life, you're going to realize that this brother is really, he doesn't have one passion. Like if you, he would tell you how he just, because you're in an automobile industry, and then you're talking about going to Mars, and then now he's studying astrology and astronomy, and he tells you how he has read almost all the books on astrology, astronomy, and then how he was passionate about jets, and he started learning about jets and all of that, right? And what you're going to realize is that the most creative individual in our time now and in the past were never people who had one interest. Let's look at the greatest artist and the greatest creative ever, Leonardo, right? Da Vinci. Da Vinci didn't just say, oh, okay, because I love art, I will study art. This guy loved physics. Like he actually, there are pages in one of his like memoirs that has like diagrams of him creating things like, I think they were like machines in physics, right? In those days. And you will learn that he studied so much anatomy. And this is why you see in his painting and his art, the way he will draw the body, you will feel that this is not just painting. This is not just a painting. This is art. This is creativity. This is innovation. Because you will see in his painting and his carvings where some muscles that you would never even know that exist on the body will feature, and it will show when he positions, for example, a finger in a certain way. For example, there's a muscle that you have here that is only visible when this pinky finger is lifted. And in his painting, you will see him when somebody put his hand like this, that muscle here shows. Why? Because he wasn't just one passion. This guy didn't have one passion. He didn't have one interest. He had so many interests. So the Jews is embracing all of your interests and seeing that all these interests is actually what is going to help you to figure out your niche. And you don't need to figure out your niche. Like I just said, I think that's another thing I need to correct. You don't need to figure out your niche. You are already your niche. So the next step to doing this is that you're going to look at, okay, what are your values? So instead of thinking of like, what should I do? What should I do, right? What should I do? What should I talk about? What should my message be about? Who should I help? And who is my ideal client? And all of these things is like, instead ask yourself, who am I, right? And most people, if you don't really know yourself, it's going to be challenging for you to know this, because if you know who you are, then you're going to realize that you are not here to serve the people you think you should. You're here to attract your energetic match. Now, we attract who we are or who we have been, and not what we want and what we think. We attract who we have embodied. This is what I mean. We attract who we have become and who we have been. So if you have been, let's look at yourself. Who are you and who have you been? Right? Not what have you done, not what have you achieved. That is not what I'm talking. That is like a 3D metrics kind of way of thinking it. But if we're looking from higher dimension, higher consciousness, it's never really about what you do in this lifetime. It's about your energy. It's about who you become. So who have you been? And because who you have been is direct reflection of who you are here to support other people to be. Because our purpose on earth is not to do something, it's not to achieve this. Your purpose is to become something, right? Your purpose is in the becoming. So, and I'm going to do a separate video on how to find your purpose. But when you realize that it's not about what you're doing in this life, it's about who you become, then it changes everything. So my question for you, like, it's who are you? And when I talk about who are you, think about who have I been? And in order to know who you have been, let's look at what are the things that have defined you? What are the things that define you? And another way of seeing this is, what do you really value? What are your values? What are your core values? And your core values are not the things that you would like to have or that you like. It's who you are, right? Your core values define you. For example, I'm going to take myself. I am spiritual. I am evolving, growing, right? I am a businesswoman. I am a leader. I am feminine. Now, all of these, who I am, they show you my values. Because if I say I am spiritual, what I'm saying is that I value spirituality. And if I'm looking at my top core values, is spirituality, is evolution, right? Or growth, personal transformation, all of that. It is business, it is leadership. So let's look at yourself. I want you to take a piece of paper and kind of contemplate on this. Like, who am I? Who am I? Not the things that, like, the things that is you. For example, you're going to look at, let's say if you're watching this right now, there's a part of you that says you are spiritual. You are that, like, you are spiritual. So it really shows you that one of your core values is spirituality. So you create a niche based on who you are and what you value, which is like your values, the things that are define you, the things that you value. Meaning that without these things, you will be incomplete, you will be unfulfilled, you'll be unhappy, you will not be the person that you're here to do. But with these things, you become. For example, maybe one of your values is growth, right? And I know it's growth and personal transformation. That's why you're on this channel. So if one of your values is growth, another one is spirituality. Now you're already seeing, okay, I value growth, I value spirituality. And these are literally the things that if they strip away from you, you will not be a complete human being. Like, not like in your highest self and in your most very powerful version of self, but as a way of existing in this life, right? So write down your top core values. And again, your core values are the things that you embody. For example, for me, my top core values again is spirituality, personal transformation or growth, leadership, business, right? And then connection. I love to connect. Now, write down what are like it's not like I love to connect. I connect with nature every day. Like, I'll be unhappy and fulfilled if I'm not near nature, if I'm not connecting with people, human beings. So, like, what do you really value? What is really important to you? And another way of knowing this is, let's look at the books you read. What are the books that you currently read? And what kind of content do you consume? Go to your feeds, like, just go to your YouTube history and like, what kind of content do I consume? And that is going to show you what you value. Look, notice the trends. Maybe the content that you watch to the end, or you scroll, or you click on. Why do I click on this? What in this inspire me? Get curious, right? And go on your Instagram, for example. Look at the people that you follow. Why do you follow them? Why do you follow them? For example, on Instagram, for me, any person that I see that I follow, is this person is in either spirit, like they have something to do with spirituality, they have something to do with me growing and becoming better, or they have something to do with abundance, which is another core value of mine. So what you value is what you create your life work around. What you value is what you build your soul business around, right? So, and if you want to build a business that is fulfilling and that is transforming life, it has to be around you. So when you know this, when you have these values, again, just go back to step number one, just start sharing. And every day, as you wake up, if you feel inspired to talk about this, talk about it. For example, today, I am inspired to talk about business and I'm talking about it unapologetically. Yesterday, maybe I was inspired to talk about spirituality, spiritual ascension, spiritual awakening. I talk about it. Tomorrow, I may be inspired to talk about leadership. I talk about it. And the next day, I'm going to be inspired to talk about personal growth and transformation. I talk about it. So without boxing yourself, you are going to grow. And this is the thing. When you are a multi-passionate individual, you will gain mastery, but it will not be mastery in the sense that the world says it, because the world define mastery as go into one thing, just talk about that one thing, study it all your life, and then you're going to be a master at it. But for me, that's boring because I get bored fast, not because it's a weakness or it's ADHD or something I need to work on, but it's actually my superpower, because I gain knowledge from here, and then my own mastery is going to be in the thing that I am here to innovate, in the path that I'm here to trailblaze, because I know I'm a trailblazer. I'm here to bend the rules. I'm here to create my rules, and so are you. You are here not to fit in the box, right? You are here to create your own path. And this is the thing I want you to know. When you follow this path, your success, you're not going to grow outwardly. On the outside, publicly, you may not grow as fast as other people who are doing and talking about one thing, right? And to most people, if your nervous system is not regulated and you've not done a lot of inner work, you might give up at some point, and you might be like, oh no, and you might be self-sabotaging and thinking, I'm just too scattered. You are not scattered, because go look at my YouTube channel. I don't like, and even if you've been in my war, even on my Facebook or social media, I talk about the things that I'm led to talk about. And your growth is going to be slower than that of somebody who speaks a specific thing and they talk about it, because the algorithm love when you're talking about a specific thing, right? The algorithm enjoys a boost because now it knows who to push your content to and who people are going to click. But what happens is that when you are a specific person, people who come with you don't really go into depth. They then have to go and choose other people and move to the next, because they have multiple interests as well. But what if you are that person that when somebody lands on your channel who has the same interest as you, they feel like, oh my God, I finally feel seen, heard, and understood. And then you grow slowly. Like I've been growing. I have over 50 videos, but I have less than 400 subscribers at the time that I'm recording and sharing this video. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that because these people, you watching this, you are like, you people are my soul tribe. You are here for all of it. You're not here for some of it. And we are going to go a long way, because you're not just here to let me talk about one thing and one day I get bored, or you get bored and you're tired and move on, and you have to move on to the next thing, right? So your growth as a multi-passionate and multi-talented spiritual being is going to be slow on the outside, but on the inside is going to be, but it's going to be deeper. The growth is going to be deeper and more connected. Your people are going to be more connected than just numbers. And one thing I want to be cautious, as an entrepreneur, and I have built a 7-figure business, I work with so many entrepreneurs, is that growth is not defined by numbers, right? Like, especially a number of people. I have seen people make 7-figure in their business with less than with 500 subscribers on Instagram. Like, I have had somebody that I work with, she had like 500 subscribers, and then she had a 7-figure business. And these subscribers are the quality, not the quantity. And it's because in her world, she goes into depth. They are deep. They go deep. And it's not about going more. It's about going deep. And you can grow in broad. You can grow fast. And yes, you post your video and goes viral and you keep talking about that thing. And it's beautiful, but what is the depth of the people? How connected are you to them? And how do they feel like, okay, these are my people, and these are the people that I'm here to serve, right? Because if you want to not just grow in numbers, but grow in conversion, grow in sales, it's about depth. You can have 500 followers or subscribers who are connected and who are buyers, and who are the people that you feel connected to at a soul level, who are your soulmates. Like, oh my God, they get it and they buy everything, or not, even if not everything. Or you can have 1 million subscribers and it's full of people who are giving all kind of comments. They are not an energetic match for where you are and who you are. And you are dealing with so much. And then when you put maybe your offers, they don't buy. Nobody buys. You're not making sales. So you are literally like, you're famous. You're publicly, you look like a success, but privately, you are not a success. In your income, you're not a success. In your business, you're not a success. And that is not the kind of success that we want for you, right? Because the kind of success that we want for you is like, you are with the people, you create connection. And even though you're growing slowly, the people that you are growing with, they are committed because they understand. And the only thing that way you're going to do this is by being all of you. So this is really just about, I'm giving you the permission to go and fully express all that you are to the world. I'm giving you the permission to be unapologetic, to go and be all of yourself, to go and share the things that inspire you. You talk about the thing that light you up. If you're talking about business, but tomorrow you feel like talking about parenting, go share it. Because the real soul people, soul tribe, soul community, who are going to love your work are not the people who are going to be coming because of, oh, I just want business, but they are going to be calling because of who you are. And again, know this, we attract who we are, who we have been. And who you are has nothing to do with what you do. Who you are, it's about what you value. It's about what makes you you. It's about your core. And when you connect with people on this level, you're going to build a community. And for me personally, I've never really had a huge audience. I've never really had a huge following, even on Facebook. And even when I was growing, there was a point where I reached like 5,000 people on Facebook back in the days in 2021. And I literally had to unfriend people and clean my list. And I unfriended people not because I didn't like people. I unfriended people because I don't want quantity, I want quality. I want people who are here for who I am, who are here for all of the side. So you're multi-passionate, your different interests, they are your superpowers. They are your genius, and they are this is your opportunity to innovate and to create something different. And if you love standing out, this is it. This is the only way you're going to stand out. You're going to stand out by being all of you, because there's no other person like you. There's no other person that has the same interest. There's no other person who is maybe wants to create impact on the world, wants to feel fulfilled and in the work that they do, and want to create abundance while being very spiritual and connected to their heart and connected to God, connected to source. But they are also impacting the world through their books, through their channels, through their writing, through their work, and people are transforming their life, and they are growing in the process, and they are leading a movement, and they are transforming, becoming better and better and better. There's no other person than you, and no other person, even if there are people who have those same interests, they don't have the same story, the same perception, and the same perspective around that thing as you do. So I'm glad to share this conversation. So go be yourself. This is like your permission slip, and I'm signing it like right now. Like, go be all of you. And you don't have to be boxed yourself, because you cannot be niche. You're too talented. You're too passionate. You're too diverse. You're too intelligent. You're too smart. You're to be niched. And when you stop boxing yourself, you're just going to go in the world and be. And the abundance and success and love, all of that is going to come as a byproduct of that. Everything is going to flow to you. So lovely human, go be yourself and be awakened and fulfill your purpose, lead your movement, and create an abundant and fulfilling life, because that is your birthright. Sending you lots of love, and see you in the next one.